Hello everyone, I welcome you all to Manu Law Classes Current Affair Analysis. In this particular video, we will discuss August 2 The Hindu Delhi editorial newspaper. So in this particular newspaper, we have few topic of concern that include Bharat Ratna Award. Then we will also discuss about the Bhima Koregaon case, why it is happening, what was the issue behind that. Then we will also discuss about the Shakti scheme, which is launched by Karnataka government and how it is empowering women. Then we will also discuss about the Chandrayaan 3 and we will discuss about the Forest Conservation Act amendment and also about the Indian Management Association Amendment Bill. IIM Bills also Indian Institute of Management Bill. So we will discuss about all these things and much more. So let's begin our discussion with the very first news which has been in the first page of the newspaper. So here what is important for us is to understand that PM Modi is accepting the Lokmanya Tilak Award. So here the Tilak Award, as suggested by the name, the Tilak, he is the most famous institutional builder and a very famous historical personality, and he nurtured various traditions. And to embark this ideology or to give importance to this ideology, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been accepting this Lokmanya Tilak Award, national award, which will be given to him in Pune. And also he has visited the city's iconic Dagu Seth Halwai Ganpati temple. So this is very important temple because it is in news. Okay, so this much is important from this whole news. Moving further toward our next important article, that is coming in from the Bharat Ratna Award, and here the KCR is basically demanding Bharat Ratna Award for the social reformer Anna Bhau Sathe. So here they are demanding, whether this demand will be fulfilled or not, we don't know. But what is important for us is the static aspect of this award, that is Bharat Ratna Award. So we will discuss in detail about this particular award, that is Bharat Ratna Award. So Bharat Ratna is India's highest civilian honor or award which is given to civilians. This award was established or it was started from 1954 and it is given to honor the remarkable service in any sphere which include human endeavor or something done for the betterment of the human life. It is given regardless of the race, caste, sex, status and career. So anyone who do any remarkable work to improve the human life and to improve the humanity, the Bharat Ratna Award is given to them. So on Prime Minister's suggestion, the President of India give this award and he can give a maximum of 3 Bharat Ratna Award in a year. Okay, 3 Bharat Ratna Award, this is the maximum limit. So on Prime Minister's suggestion to the President of India, a maximum of 3 Bharat Ratna Award is presented in each year, and the recipient of the award receive a sanad, which is certificate. He receives a sanad and which is signed by the President, as well as a medal. Okay, so just remember these two things are given in Bharat Ratna Award. And the prize does not come with a monetary grant. So monetary grant is not given in Bharat Ratna Award. It does not come with the monetary grant, but these two things are given. So the awardees, they are not allowed to use Bharat Ratna because we know under Article 81 of the Indian Constitution, no titles can be used. So no awardee can use this Bharat Ratna as a prefix or as a suffix to their name. For example, if someone is given Bharat Ratna Award, so he cannot put Bharat Ratna winner or something like that before his name or after his name. So there is no formal requirement that the Bharat Ratna can be granted solely to the Indian national. It has also been given to the other naturalized Indian citizen. one kind of citizenship we acquire by birth. Okay, another kind of citizenship after living for 7 years or some time period, we get citizenship as naturalized citizenship. So talking about this Bharat Ratna Award, it can also be given to those citizens who are here by birth and also to the naturalized citizen. So who were these? They were Agnes Gongsa. Apart from that, Mother Teresa, and also to the non-Indians, which include Khan, Abdul Ghaffar Khan, and also to Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was given this Bharat Ratna in the year of 1990. Okay, so these are an example that it is not only given to the Indian citizen, it is also given to the naturalized as well as the non-Indian citizen. Talking about the first recipient of Bharat Ratna, this was a question asked in your DU LLB exam. So they were C. Rajgopalachari, just note it down, and also to Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, and the third one was Dr. C.V. Raman. So these three people were given Bharat Ratna Award in the year of 1954 when this award was instituted. So they were the first recipient of this award. So this was about the important aspect of Bharat Ratna Award. Just remember all the points which has been discussed over here. Moving further toward our next important article, that is coming in from the Chandrayaan-3 news. So here basically, as we know, on July 14, Chandrayaan-3 was launched by the LBM-3M4 from the Sriharikota, and it consists of an integrated module that will be lander module, propulsion module and a rover, and it was placed in the elliptical parking orbit in 170 cross 36,500 kilometers. So it was placed here in July 14. Now after that, on July 15, first maneuver was placed the Chandrayaan-3 in the spacecraft 41,762 kilometer cross the 173 orbit. Then come on July 17, second maneuver. Then on July 18, it was the third maneuver, and the fourth maneuver was on July 20, and the fifth and the final maneuver was on July 25. Then after that, these were the earthbound maneuver. Okay, it was orbiting around Earth. Now it has been shifted into moon's or the lunar orbit. Okay, so it has been shifted into the lunar orbit on August 1. ISTRAC performed the TL1 on August 1, and here it will be in the lunar orbit. And soon it has been expected that by August 23, it will land on the surface of moon. So this was about the journey of Chandrayaan-3 and all the new upcomings which has been there in Chandrayaan-3. Moving further toward a very important article for today, that is GI tag. Some areas are having something speciality. For example, Bengali Roshagulla. It is very famous in Bengal. So that's why we give a geographical indication to few products which are famous in that particular area. So the GI tags have been given to the crafts from Rajasthan and mangoes grown in Goa. 7 products across India, including 4 from Rajasthan, were given the geographical indication tag or the GI tag by the Geographical Indication Registry in Chennai. The Jalisar Dhatu Shilp or the metal craft of Goa, Mankud, Mango, Goan, Banbika, Udaipur, Koftagiri metal craft, Bikaner, Kashigadi craft, Jodhpur, Bandej craft and Bikaner Ushtakala craft. These were given GI tag or the geographical indication tag. So the application of the Goa Mankudad mango, it was filed by the All Goa Mango Grown Association. So just remember that which products are given and from which state they are belonging. Because this is important. Sometimes in the match the following question, these kind of things are asked. So GI tag is basically given because of their specialty in that particular area, and by giving that they also get a specific status, and they also get their like production, their manufacturing, these are also increased. So according to the detail provided by the document submitted in the GI office, the Udaipur Koftagiri metal craft practices are the ancient art of the Koftagiri area where this kind of metal work are done, and it is used in making the ornamental weaponry. So these weapons are exquisitely ornamented by complicated process of etching of design, heating and then cooling. So that's why these type of crafts are very important, and 4 different crafts are given GI tag in the from the area of Rajasthan. The second craft, that is the Bikaner Kashikadi craft. Kashikadi, these work is done majorly on the object they are associated with marriage and especially gift item. The Jodhpur Bandage craft, this is also an important, and here the tying and dyeing art of Rajasthani is being depicted in this art form. And apart from that, Bikaner Ustakala craft, it is basically known as the gold Nakashi work or the gold Manuti work. And due to the prominence of the golden color, this name is being given to it, and the gold work here means the color gold, not the metal gold. Okay. So just remember these 4 type of art. Moving further toward our next important article, that is coming in from the editorial section. So here we have our first editorial analysis on the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill. We have discussed this particular news quite since a long time. So here the article is based on that. So the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill, which will be introduced in this particular monsoon session of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha of the Parliament. Here this particular bill will be presented, and it is in its final draft, and it is hoping, like we are hoping, that this will get passed. So what is the problem with this particular bill is that this particular data protection bill of 2022, it seeks to amend the Right to Information Act, and the Right to Information Act is such act which is empowering people to have some control over the executives. Okay. So by amending this act, by giving the RTI Amendment Act, and there is a clause about the personal information which can't be given by the investigating officer or the information officer, PIOs. They don't give under this particular clause personal information. So they are basically broadening the mandate of this personal information. So that's why this has been in news, and there is a lot of controversy regarding the Digital Data Protection Bill. So as we know, the RTI Act was basically enacted in the year of 2005, and here it was introduced to effectively hold their government accountable in a democracy. And people can have the access to information, and also they can have a category of personal data, or they can have some information about the personal data. For example, the Supreme Court said that it has held in its judgment that the citizen, they have the right to know about the names of the willful defaulters and the details of the non-performing asset of the public sector bank. The bank can't keep this information as they are personal in nature. They have to provide this information. But with the amendment, it has been found out that this particular information, these will come under the personal data, and they should not be of the public importance. That's why the enactment of this act will basically broaden the scope of the personal data. And along with that, there has been like RTI has been used especially for the poor section and the marginalized section, because they can get the benefit of the government schemes, programs that is relevant for them, and they get this introduction only through they get this information only through the RTE Act or the Right to Information RTI Act or the Right to Information Act. And the Public Distribution System Control Order, they recognizes the need for putting out the details of the ration card holder and the record of the ration shop, and that's how the public scrutiny is done on the PDS system, and that's why this RTI Act is important. So the RTI Act, it include a provision to harmonize people's right to information with their right to privacy through the exemption which has been given in section 81J of the RTI Act. And in this, the personal information is exempt from the disclosure and there should be no relationship with the public activity. तो ये आपकी जितनी भी information होती है जो आपकी personal nature की होती है वो यहाँ पे disclose नहीं करने का इनके पास option होता है under this section. बट यहाँ पे इसका बहुत बार मिसयूज भी किया गया है तो इस मिसयूज के चलते बेसिकली अब इसका स्कोप भी ब्रॉडन हो जाएगा. यहीं पे ये डिस्प्यूट बनता है आपका इस पर्टिकुलर डीपीडीपी डिजिटल पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल. ओके, सो दिस इज अबाउट दिस होल आर्टिकल. जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस सेक्शन. Just read about the Right to Information Act. I have already discussed in my previous DNA and in which year it was passed. What is the importance of RTI Act? These things are important from you. Moving further toward our next important article, that is about a scheme which has been launched in Karnataka. That is Shakti scheme. This scheme, Shakti scheme, it has been launched by the Congress government of Karnataka. Under this scheme, the women's they can travel free on the state buses. Like this scheme has already there in Delhi also and in other states like Punjab, Tamil Nadu. These all states and along with Karnataka, these all states are providing the transportation through bus free for women. So just remember the Shakti scheme, it has been there in news. So you should remember the state name Karnataka and why it is in news because it is providing free travel services in the state buses to women. So this much is important. Other than that, these are analysis. And one more thing which is important from this whole article is Article 15. So we know under Article 15, it prohibits discrimination on specified ground including sex, and the sub-clause of Article 15, that is Article 15(1)(3), it empowers the state or it allows the state to form such laws or such rules so that it can benefit the weaker section which include women and all the disadvantaged group and also the children. So women and children, they are given relaxation under the Article 15(3) and under this the state are employing the schemes which can be of benefit for women. So this much is important from you. Just remember these points. Then comes the IIM Bill or the Indian Institute of Management Act Bill. So here basically the IIM Amendment Bill has been passed by the government or it has been basically introduced in the parliament and soon it will be passed. So here the IIM Act is basically, as we know, through the IIM Act of 2017, the IIMs got so much autonomy. Like they were there to decide who will be the officials or there was a board of governors who basically were independent in nature and they appointed all the important officials. And that's why this autonomy was given in the year of 2017 through the IIM Act of 2017. So there is a news that why this new amendment is being introduced because the IIMs, they are misusing their independence. So here through the bill, the 2023 IIM Amendment Bill, it will take back some of the powers which has been given to the IIM through the 2017 Act and it will help the government to have a little bit of control over the IIM. So the 2017 legislation, it provided extraordinary autonomy to these institutes and all the key appointments which include the chairperson, the board member, the director and the chairperson of the coordination forum. These were appointed by the board of governor. Okay, and the government basically it reduced the presence of the central government and the state government through this particular 2017 legislation. But the 2023 bill which has been introduced in the parliament, it will undo many of the provision of the earlier act and it create a post of visitor, that is the President of India, and the visitor will appoint the chairperson of the board of governor, one nominee on the selection committee for the director and the chairperson of the coordination forum of the IIM, and he will approve, मतलब यहाँ पे president, he or she मतलब president will approve all the director appointment, so that there should be some accountability in terms of IIMs. And the visitor or the president can initiate any review or inquiry into the affair of an institution, and he can also remove the director or on his or her own, मतलब अपने will पे on the recommendation of the prime minister he can remove any director. So this is the new amendment bill which has been introduced. The reason behind, क्योंकि यहाँ पे इनको इतनी ऑटोनॉमी मिल गई थी कि ये लोग बेसिकली एक पब्लिक डोमेन में इनको ऑडिट करना होता है, रिव्यू करना होता है अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन को, बट ये आपका हर 3 साल पे इनको करना होता है, बट सिर्फ और सिर्फ IIM बैंगलोर था जो अपना रिव्यू रिपोर्ट भेज रहा था, बाकी कोई IIM भेज ही नहीं रहे थे अपने रिव्यू रिपोर्ट. So that's why there was a need to have a control over these institutions also, and that's why this new bill has been introduced. This is important from this article. Moving further toward our next important article from the text and context section. Again, we have discussed this particular amendment quite since a long time, that is the Forest Conservation Act amendment. Now here all the nitty-gritties have been given, provided. So what you should know, that there will be, like it has been referred to a joint parliament committee comprising of 32 members from both the houses, and it will basically recommend what changes can be brought by, and then it will be passed by the parliament. So here the bill restricts the scope of the act. The bill stipulates that only those land that were notified as forest under the Indian Forest Act 1927 and any other relevant law or were recorded as forest in the government record will be acknowledged as the forest under this act. तो क्या है यहाँ पे, जो इंडियन फॉरेस्ट एक्ट 1927 या आपका कोई गवर्नमेंट ने रिकॉग्नाइज किया हो किसी एरिया को एज फॉरेस्ट, उन्हीं पर ये जो लेजिस्लेशंस हैं इंडियन फॉरेस्ट कंजर्वेशन एक्ट के वो लगेंगे और उन्हीं को आपका फॉरेस्ट रिकॉग्नाइज किया जाएगा. बेसिकली जो बिल है ये अपना परव्यू और अपना जो स्कोप है वो इन्हीं लैंड्स पे प्रूव कर पाएगा, इन्हीं लैंड्स पे ये लॉ लगेंगे जो आपके इंडियन फॉरेस्ट एक्ट 1927 के तहत आते हैं या गवर्नमेंट ने इनको फॉरेस्ट डिक्लेयर किया हो. अब ये जो आपका रिवीजन है इसमें बेसिकली बहुत ज्यादा कंट्रोवर्सी भी हुई है. एक सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट आया था 1996 में. It had reiterated such a broad application, and it said that a forest include all land recorded as such in the government record regardless of the ownership as well as the deemed forest, which are not officially classified as the forest but satisfy the dictionary meaning of the forest. Any large area with significant tree cover and undergrowth. तो यहाँ पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला था कि कोई भी आपका जो फॉरेस्ट है या फिर तो वो गवर्नमेंट रिकॉर्ड पे हो या फिर उसकी ओनरशिप आपकी किसी की भी हो, डीम्ड फॉरेस्ट हो, ये सारे फॉरेस्ट आपके फॉरेस्ट की कैटेगरी में आएगी. और कोर्ट ने साथ में स्टेट्स को ये भी बोला था कि आप इन सब पे आइडेंटिफाई करिए कि कितने हमारे डीम्ड फॉरेस्ट हैं. बट इवन आफ्टर ऑलमोस्ट 30 ईयर ऑफ दिस 1996 जजमेंट, यहाँ पे किसी भी स्टेट ने इसको नोटिफाई ही नहीं किया है. तो यहाँ पे सबसे पहले आपका फॉरेस्ट का जो डेफिनेशन है और फॉरेस्ट का जो एरिया है वो यहाँ पे चेंज होगा, और यहाँ पे फॉरेस्ट जो होगा थ्रू दिस बिल इट विल बी एज पर द इंडियन फॉरेस्ट एक्ट 1927 और किसी लॉ के थ्रू गवर्नमेंट रिकॉर्ड में हो तो वो फॉरेस्ट कंसीडर किया जाएगा. द सेकेंड पॉइंट ऑफ दिस बिल इज दैट अगर यहाँ पे सपोज करिए ये मेरा एरिया है और ये चाइना से लग रहा है, तो ये बॉर्डर एरिया होगा, ये वाला पूरा एरिया. तो बॉर्डर एरिया के 100 किलोमीटर्स तक, विद इन द 100 किलोमीटर्स, यहाँ पे अगर कोई फॉरेस्टेड एरिया भी है और अगर हमें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करना है तो ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करने के लिए हमें किसी भी क्लियरेंस की जरूरत नहीं होगी विद इन 100 किलोमीटर ऑफ द इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर एरिया. ओके, नेशनल बॉर्डर एरिया के 100 किलोमीटर्स तक कोई भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट, चाहे वो रोड्स हो, हाईवेज का हो, तो उसमें आपको फॉरेस्ट क्लियरेंस लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. So these are the important provision of this particular bill which has been discussed over here. Now we will see when it will get passed and what changes will be introduced after the recommendation of the JPC or the Joint Parliamentary Committee report. Now comes another important news, that is about the Bhima Koregaon issue and the UAPA. So first of all, we will understand the history of this Bhima Koregaon and the Bhima Koregaon battle. Then we will discuss कि violence यहाँ पे भीमा कोरेगांव एरिया में क्यों हुआ था, और उसके बाद हम डिस्कस करेंगे अभी हो क्या रहा है. So we will discuss about the Bhima Koregaon battle. So the battle took place on 1st January 1880. Okay, in the village of कोरेगांव. भीमा कोरेगांव नाम है, तो कोरेगांव विलेज जो है वहां पे हुआ था, महाराष्ट्र में है. और ये हुआ किस किस के बीच में था? बिटवीन द ट्रूप्स ऑफ मराठा रूलर बाजीराव पेशवा टू, ओके, एंड द 800 ट्रूप्स ऑफ ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी. अब ये जो 800 ट्रूप्स थे, इसमें मैक्सिमम लोग जो थे, जो सोल्जर्स थे, वो आपके बेसिकली दलित सेक्शन से बिलोंग करते थे, और इन्होंने पेशवा बाजीराव को, पेशवा टू बाजीराव जो है, उनको हरा दिया था. तो ये जो बैटल था, ये बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है हिस्टोरिकली, क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक छोटी सी ट्रूप में इतने बड़े पेशवा को हराया था. सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया, दिस पर्टिकुलर भीमा कोरेगांव बैटल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अब बेसिकली बैटल हुआ क्यों था? Because the Peshwa had established themselves as the overlords of Deccan. और यहाँ पे 18th सेंचुरी में इन्होंने अपने आप को ओवरलॉर्ड डेक्कन का मान लिया था. 1802 में ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ने ट्रीटी की थी डेक्कन वाले एरिया में 1802 में, और यहाँ पे उन्होंने बोला था कि जो भी आपके पेशवाज हैं पुणे के, सिंधियाज हैं ग्वालियर के, होलकर्स ऑफ इंदौर, गायकवाड़ ऑफ बड़ौदा और भोसलेज ऑफ नागपुर, इन सबको बेसिकली अपना जो लॉर्डशिप है, जो रेवेन्यू है और जो अदर प्रिविलेज है, वो अब किसको देना पड़ेगा? ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी को, और यहाँ पे मैक्सिमम पार्ट इनको देना पड़ेगा. लेकिन जो पेशवा लीडर थे बाजीराव टू, ये इन्होंने बहुत ज्यादा रिलक्टेंट थे और इन्होंने बहुत ज्यादा लड़ाई भी की थी, और इसी का रिजल्ट था कि ये भीमा कोरेगांव बैटल हुआ था, जिसमें ये फाइनली हार गए थे और इन्हें ये वाला एरिया देना पड़ा था. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाई द वायलेंस, व्हाई वी आर डिस्कसिंग इट नाउ? क्योंकि यहाँ पे जब 200th एनिवर्सरी सेलिब्रेट करनी थी इस पर्टिकुलर इवेंट की, 200th एनिवर्सरी 2018 में, तो यहाँ पे बेसिकली हुआ क्या था? देयर वॉज अ प्रोटेस्ट बिफोर दिस पर्टिकुलर इवेंट वॉज commemorated. So this event commemorating the 200th anniversary of the battle, it has been met with the protest even before 1st January with the right wing leaders. जो आपके राइट विंग के लीडर्स थे, उनके साथ यहाँ पे उन्होंने प्रोटेस्ट स्टार्ट किया था, जिसमें आपके अखिल भारतीय ब्राह्मण महासभा, हिंदू अगाड़ी और राष्ट्रीय एकतंभ राष्ट्र अभियान, ये सब बेसिकली इस कास्टिस्ट अप्रोच को, या ये जो आपका एंटी नेशनल बोल रहे थे इस पूरे कोमेमोरेशन को या इस पूरे बैटल को. तो इसीलिए बेसिकली आपका ये जो पूरा फाइट था, ये जो पूरा वायलेंस था, वो यहाँ से आपका 2018 में अराइज हुआ था. और अभी हम देख रहे हैं, मैंने आपको अभी कुछ टाइम पहले, कल ही के या परसों के न्यूज़पेपर में बताया था कि जो भीमा कोरेगांव में एक और जो कन्विक्ट थे, उनको अभी बेल पे छोड़ा गया है, और ही हैज टू लिंक हिज मोबाइल और लोकेशन विद द एनआईए. तो यहाँ पे ये सारे इवेंट्स अभी हो रहे हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई अंडरस्टैंडिंग द हिस्टोरिसिटी एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ द वायलेंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो नाउ वी विल डिस्कस कि अभी प्रेजेंट में क्या सिनेरियो चल रहा है. So here the Supreme Court granted bail to the activist Vernon Gonsalves and Arun Pereira in the Bhima Koregaon case, and they were basically connected with the violence, and that's why these two men were jailed in August 2018. और इन एक्टिविस्ट को UAPA अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटीज प्रिवेंशन एक्ट 1967 में चार्ज किया गया था. तो ये जो आपका UAPA है, ये स्पेसिफिकली टेररिस्ट एक्टिविटीज की को काउंटर करता है, और जो भी टेररिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जो भी इंडिविजुअल टेररिस्ट एक्टिविज्म में इन्वॉल्व हैं, उनको ये काउंटर करता है. तो यहाँ पे उन पे ये जो दो आपके एक्टिविस्ट हैं, वर्नॉन गोन्साल्वेस और अरुण फरारे, इन पे UAPA का चार्ज लगाया था NIA ने, और दैट्स व्हाई ही हैज गिवन द he has been granted bail, but on the condition that he has to share his location with the NIA. तो यहाँ पे बस इतना इंपॉर्टेंट था, जस्ट लर्न अबाउट द हिस्टोरिसिटी, लर्न अबाउट व्हाट इज यूएपीए. मैंने ऑलरेडी पिछली क्लास में आपको डिस्कस किया था यूएपीए के बारे में, तो ये सारी चीजें आपको पता होनी चाहिए. मूविंग फर्दर टुवर्ड आवर नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल. So here what you have to learn, that the Penn Monument project. So the apex court dismisses challenge to the Penn Monument project, and here the Supreme Court declined to entertain a challenge of the DMK government offshore the Penn Monument project. तो पेन मॉन्यूमेंट प्रोजेक्ट जो है ये बेसिकली आपके जो लेट चीफ मिनिस्टर थे, डीएमके लीडर थे एम करुणानिधि, उनके याद में ये बनाया जा रहा है Penn Monument. So just remember this much, why it is being built and on whose memory it is being built. Moving further toward our next important article, that is coming in from the birth registration. So we have already discussed कि यहाँ पे जितना भी आपका एक अमेंडमेंट आएगा रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ बर्थ एंड डेथ, और यहाँ पे जो भी डिजिटल बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट है वो इशू होगा, सिंगल डॉक्यूमेंट होगा जिसमें आपकी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन होगी, आधार कार्ड, एनरोलमेंट, वोटर आईडी एनरोलमेंट, रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ मैरिज, डेथ, ये सारी आपकी एक डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म पे होगी. सो दिस वाज इन न्यूज एंड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट aspect. Moving further toward our next important article, that is coming in from the world section, and here Indian grants will be used in education and healthcare in Sri Lanka state areas. So here 75 crore grant for the transformative change rather than aesthetic change have been demanded. And यहाँ पे जो आपके इंडियन ओरिजिन है तमिलनाडु के श्रीलंका में, इन्होंने ये बोला है. सो रिसेंटली इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने ग्रांट दिया है 75 करोड़ का फॉर द डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट टारगेटिंग श्रीलंका मलाया हिल कंट्री तमिल्स. तो इनके लिए यहाँ पे इन्होंने एजुकेशन सेक्टर के लिए और हेल्थ सेक्टर के लिए इस आइलैंड में यहाँ पे इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने 75 करोड़ का ग्रांट दिया है. सो जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. सो दिस इज ऑल फॉर टुडे. So I hope you like this lecture. If you like this lecture, then definitely like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you all. Thank you for listening.